Everybody, video here for you today. Make sure we're recording. We are. Alrighty, hopefully the sound is okay. I've been messing with it, trying to get it better. I think it is. I did this last year during the off-season, the Washington Commanders off-season, meaning the releases, signing free agents, and the draft. And so let's do that again. So we check the rosters as far as what I've done to prepare for this. What I did was sim the 2022 season and to get basically to the place that we are now, where is signing free agents. And in doing so, I had to lose, I think, like 6 or 7 games in a row, and because of that, that's why these players are down. Like their morale is down, and they lost some stats. You can see the awareness on Cam Curl is down here. Awareness on everybody down. So, and that's what happens when you lose. But I wanted to get them into a place where they would be close. I have them. Excuse me. I have them here at pick number 13. In reality, they have pick 16. And breaking news, a couple days ago, I think, the Panthers traded the Bears for the number 1 pick. And so the Panthers likely gonna pick Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud to be their franchise quarterback. How about that? And the Bears moved down to number 9, I believe, and they also traded like a second round pick next year and a player. All right, so what we want to do is check out the roster. Let's go through. Sam Howell is the only quarterback on the roster. Heineke is a free agent, and Carson Wentz was released last week along with Bobby McCain, free safety. So Howell's the only one on the roster. John Keim report. He said and I agree with him, the top priorities are cornerback, the offensive line. Got to get a second quarterback. Linebacker, which you'll see in the roster that we look at here, and tight end. And so we'll go through that now and explain each of them. Sam Howell is QB1. He is not that highly ranked, as you can see. Knowing I was going to do this, the way I simmed this was him starting, so he is higher rated than he is in the default Madden ratings because he played all year in 2022 instead of just the last game, which he won against the Dallas Cowboys, playing all their starters. Let's see. So halfbacks were good. Robinson, Gibson. Don't have J.D. McKissick on here. I released him. Getting old, so I released him last year, I think. Maybe traded him for a pick. More on that later. Washington currently not using a fullback. They use tight end to block. And wide receiver in 2022 season, since I had Dotson, and he was very good, highly rated. Great first round pick by them out of Penn State. I traded Curtis Samuel away and got a second round pick for him. So that's why he's not on the team when actuality he still is. Also, De'Ami Brown and Milne, Stevenson and KJ Hill were practice squad people, and the people in your practice squad in Madden when the season is over, all the people in your practice squad get signed 2-year contracts, no signing bonus, but 2-year contracts to be on your active roster. And then as you go through the preseason, then you would cut anybody that you didn't want. Alrighty, so tight end is interesting. In reality, we have Logan Thomas, and I believe he was about a 74 rated on Madden, and he retired, so I don't have to deal with that. He had been injured. He's a good player. He had been injured, and then when he came back at the end of the year, they weren't using him as much. Of course, because you had those 3 great receivers. So got to do something about tight end, and they still may do something about that. Like I said, Logan Thomas is like a 74 ranked player, and I think he has something like a $8 million cap hit. So see if something goes on there. As far as the line, they've said they want to get younger. Leno probably won't be going anywhere. He'll probably be there. Perhaps draft a lineman in the first round. Maybe if you draft a left tackle, you could put Charles Leno over to right tackle and put Cosme at guard. People have been Cosme. I had him starting all year in 2022, and so he is quite. He has risen up, even though he's not a star, which that comes into play shortly. But he develops at a normal rate. So, but still, he got up there in the rankings. So, but that's something that they might do. So, we got Lucas, and this is the penalty against the salary cap if you release these people right here. So, if you release Lucas, he's 68. I guess you keep him for a backup, or you take the hit, which they do sometimes. Norwell. This is the last year of his contract. It about evens out $500,000 difference there, so you could release him or try to trade him to draft a replacement, but don't know. We'll see how that shakes out. As far as depth, got Charles ranked 68 and Paul 63. Chase Roullier coming off of injury, and he should be good to play. He there's about a 1.17 million difference in the savings and the penalty against the cap if released or traded. So probably would keep him as well. Okay, so as far as, remember what I was telling you about the star, where they rank up higher, where they achieve XP at a faster rate. When I was looking for depth in the 2022 season, I found 2 guys that were actually stars in the free agent list. I signed them before I realized they were stars, so that was just a fun time. But it's Solomon Kindley. Where did he go to college? Georgia. All right. And he is a star. I also signed Lester Cotton from Bama, but he is not a star. So the other star player that I found just for depth, to be a backup, just for depth, was a cornerback, and we'll get to that. And so we've got some holes here. Let's see. I mean, basically, if you got to have 10 offensive linemen, a starter and a backup at each position. You don't have to. You used to have to. Madden used to make you do that, but now they don't anymore. So you're like, fine, like that. I won't tell you. Now, if you run out of centers, you can still have other positions play the center part, but if this center gets hurt, it will make you sign another center, though. You got to have at least one of each position except fullback. Okay, so we'll be looking. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to say about the offensive line? Like I said, they did want to get younger, which is a good idea. That's a thing I generally do in Madden a lot. If they are 29, 30, I am really careful about re-signing them. If I can trade them for a draft pick, I will do that. If there's not much of a salary cap hit, I will certainly do that. So, who do we have on the who started at right guard this year? I can't remember. I think Cosme did play some guard, and he can play both spots. But in the game at that rating, he's probably my starter there. So we'll see. Defensive line, 4 number 1 draft choices. You can't beat that, really. Got too many, as a matter of fact. Got 5 of them. Basically, I generally would keep Young and Sweat and Smith-Williams as one backup, and then just have put the other 2 on the practice squad. Again, there's your other 2. Sweat and Young on the outsides, and Allen and Payne on the inside. And this year they are putting the franchise tag on Daron Payne. Now, what I must have done, I signed him, and that's why his release penalty is so large, because I just re-signed him during the 2022 season. And they were not able to come to an agreement, so they offered him the franchise tag, and they can still negotiate. Hopefully they will, because that will put the cap hit for this year way down, instead of if it's like spread out over a number of years instead of just being the franchise tag amount. All right, we got last year's draft pick, Fidarian Mathis, who got hurt in the first game, I think one of the first plays, and missed the whole year. And so he'll be back from Bama, and he's pretty good. And when he got hurt, they signed, or maybe they already had on the roster, John Ridgway, and he was really good from the Arkansas Razorbacks. And here's where the problem starts at linebacker. No outside linebackers on the squad. I'm trying to remember who played there that we don't still have on this roster. Obviously Cole Holcomb in the middle, but no backup. It would be John Bostic, I think. And again, 30. He's a serviceable player, and he made some plays last year, obviously. But I generally get rid of older players like that and try to bring in newer players. And it's possible I brought in somebody just to play, a couple people, like a middle linebacker and an outside linebacker, to just play for the year, to just sign them for 1 year, and that's it, just for a gap player, bridge player, that's what they're called. And so that's what we got. And then right outside linebacker, Jamin Davis and Milo Eifler, and a 63. No penalty to release, so probably he's released or on the practice squad. But so we got to get at least, let's say 1, 2 there, 1, 3, 4, maybe 3 or 4 linebackers need to be either drafted or signed as a free agent. Cornerback is basically good. We got Kendall Fuller, and he's he's 28, and so generally he's at the point where in the Madden game he will re-sign 1-year contracts, and so basically I go for him. I've had him through age 32 in previous franchises. Just because he is high up there, and again, these ratings are lower again just because the team has lost like 7 or 8 games in a row to get down to have enough losses so they would be close to the correct draft pick. And the other free agent that I signed just for depth, and he happened to be a star. Which means he's gonna level up faster. And as you can see, I signed him to a long-term deal. That's why he has the $10.5 million penalty for being released. So he will be on the team. St. Juice definitely will make it. Pride is another depth player I signed in the off-season. And he's still on the roster with a 400K. I must have signed him before the start of the season when you can sign free agents with no signing bonus. Gidry, another one of he was on the practice squad at the end of the season. Castro Fields and Wild Goose also were on the practice squad. They are on the roster currently, as well as Holmes and Parker, again, just depth, and was on the practice squad at the end of the season, and so therefore has a 2-year contract, but can get rid of him if we want to do that. As far as the cornerbacks, may not need as many in real life because they played a lot, just because this was the personnel they had. They played a lot of three safety formations where they would have Butler come in and play as well. He was a rookie. And they would have him play at the same time as Forrest and Curl. And Forrest was a strong safety, but since I'm having him play free safety, I just changed his spot to his position in Madden to a free safety. So, and I signed Jamar Johnson to be a backup. Cheap backup. Sly and Way are still your kicker and punter from last year. And as you can see, the draft picks, I have the 13, and I believe they don't have a second round. Yeah, they don't have a second round pick this year. I think that's where I traded Curtis Samuel to, I believe. And I also got that 5th round pick for trading somebody. I don't remember. No, it wasn't a highly ranked player because I could only get a 5th for that. Let's see. Did I get any extra? I don't think I got it. No, didn't get any extra, but I traded away around 6 and 7. Yeah. So that is the roster breakdown, and we'll be starting from there. I think I'll make these different videos, so this will just be the roster breakdown, and so I'll put a link to the next video, which will be free agency in the upper right. Thanks for watching.